VoiceSynth.
Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. This time we have VoiceSynth. So let's go through an introduction to the user interface and to this fantastic iOS app. So starting from the top, we have a list of presets. This is what you should see when you first start VoiceSynth. So if you hold your finger on the list of presets on the top and then you move left and right, you can access to other different presets. So for example, here there is one called Space Synth, which I recorded for some composition. As you can see, each sample on the top right corner has a little letter, or L or S. L stands for live and S for sampler, and also there is a star which indicates, if highlighted, that it is a favorite. So let's have a look at other samplers presets. If you select a live sample, then you can talk towards the microphone of your iOS device, and VoiceSynth will effectively apply that preset with corresponding effects. So depending on which one you have chosen, for example, you could have a vocoder style effect. So let's try one. This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. Obviously you hear the voice transformed, and you also hear the natural voice because I'm recording directly from the same device. Anyway, let's move on. So at the bottom of the list of presets, starting from the left, you have a button which allows you to choose from the normal preset to the favorite, like this. And the next button is called mode, and the mode button allows you to set some of the settings when you use the preset. For example, if you do include the play mode, keyboard, register, scale, noise gate, or all other settings. For now, let's click on exit. So the next box is the name of the preset. If you click on it, you can change it. And the next is a button which says new and imp for implementation. If you click on it, you have access for a new preset and to clear all the effects, randomize them, import from the pasteboard or from a file, and also to access the online preset center for checking other presets. On the right hand side of that button, there is another button called More that allows you to delete the preset, duplicate it, export it, and rename it. Moving on, the center section of VoiceSynth allows you, starting from the left, to apply some effects. For example, the first one, auto clip, allows you to add an effect which sounds like an evil voice, or is very useful to create evil voices. Auto pan allows you to effectively move low frequency on one side of the channel and high frequencies on the other side of the channel, so left and right. Auto gain is useful to adjust gain, for example, when your volume of voice changes in as you spec. Delay, you can apply delays. So the top, actually starting from the bottom, delay mix allows you to set the the delay mix, so how strong you want the delay time, how quickly you want the delay to take effect. And the delay loop actually allows you to set how the volume decreases over time for the different loops. So for example, if you set it to maximum, it will continue to it will never stop. Let's try. So let's change the delay loop. As you can see, it's slowly going away, but if I set it to max, as you heard, it never stops. So let's just hear a little bit the auto clip as well. As you heard, it sounds very much evil. Okay, moving to the very right hand side of that center section, you have effects like strobo and slew. Strobo allows you to apply a stroboscopic effect, so let's try it. Slew is the equivalent of increase the release. It's good if you want to create plucks of guitar string sounds. Vocoder mixer allows you to mix the vocoder effect with your natural voice. Then you can set the reverb time, which effectively gives you differences in size in reverb room sizes. The reverb mix, of course, set to the strength of the reverb. Chorus speed and chorus mix. Chorus mix, of course, allows you to give the effect of having multiple people, for example, singing with you. And the chorus speed allows you to set how far away the different chorus are phased. So let's try. Okay. Let's try reverb. Okay, that's great. In the middle of the center section, we have, starting from the top left, a record button, which allows you to record different recordings for your tapes, which we'll look at that later. We have a button to set your audio and MIDI settings. As you can see, it changes the top section of VoiceSynth. So starting from the top left, we have the list of MIDI channel. At the moment, it is set to accept all MIDI channels. And then you have also a source button, which allows you to select which source from a MIDI point of view is selected, in this case all of them. Then you can select the input, in this case the iPad microphone. You can set also the volume. You can apply a adaptive noise reduction in the middle. You can set it to automatic as well. You can set the output to headphones or something different, and therefore set also the volume, the level from main to max. And also you have the ability to reset, have background audio if you need to, and you can set to play the intro sound or not. Okay, then we have an equalizer, which is really good if you want to adjust the way that it sounds, that your preset sounds. For example, let's have the low boost, high boost, loudness, tube, low pass, dumper, Telecom, high pass, tunnel, or just simply flat. All right, okay, and the next button is the preset button, which brings you back to the initial view, which we've gone through already. And then we have a plus sign. The plus sign allows you to save the preset as new or overwrite the library preset. Okay, so moving again forward, but mainly in the center section. So we have a button for live, which allows you to, as you speak to the microphone, hearing directly your voice transform. That of course will work if you have your headphones on, in order to reduce feedback. If you don't, then a voice repeater will actually kick in, where you actually pronounce some words, you speak, and then the effect is applied after you have spoken. We have a button to play the sample, to stop it or pause it. We have a button which allows to access the sampler, and then the ability to set the microphone through. So if you want to bypass the effect and just hear your voice. In the middle we have a dial which allows you to change the shift, the pitch shift. Okay. On the right hand side we have a number of buttons. The first one is natural. This is how it sounds with your natural voice, but of course with the effects applied. Your robot vocoder. The next one is breath. It's like a person whispering. And the fourth one is designer, which is a dedicated way to design waveforms before they get mixed or applied to your voice. Let's stick to, for now with the robot selection. At the bottom you have a format slider, which allows you to change or to shift the effect as you can hear with the format shift is like going from an adult voice to effectively a child voice as you move it to the right hand side. If instead of having voice you had an instrument, it would sound like applying from a bass boost to a treble boost. Okay, moving downwards, and the last at the bottom section of the screen, at the moment we have a keyboard activated. We have a hold button on the left hand side, which is holding the note. We have also a -12 +12 if you want to move of an octave down or upwards. We have a button to select the manual. Here we go, and then you can click the manual line to read as you think, as it suits you. We have a scale button which allows you to effectively change the shift by fifths, a cycle of fifths as it's called. So from C, the next fifth it will be a G, then the D, etc., then an A. Okay, you can also select further down if you want to use a major, minor, harmonic, pentatonic, diminished, augmented scale, or you can further customize it at your leisure. Then in the middle you have an auto pitch, which if selected allows you to properly change your pitch. Then you have a button to set your pitch on and off in terms of adjustment, and you can set the speed to double, reverse, or auto pitch mode, or to normal. We have a button called registers. When you click on it, it shows you the different registers that apply from the keyboard. So just to understand how this works, if you click reset, it will allow only the middle register to be applied. So let's try it. Now if you go back to register and we say we want also the LL, or the bottom part of the register, let's play again. Let's see how it sounds. And now we can also add the very high. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, so hopefully this is straightforward. And then we have 3 buttons on the right hand side. Mono to play only in mono, or polys, or activate the arpeggio. And if you click on the right hand side of the ARP letters, you have also the ability to synchronize the arpeggio. When you select the arpeggio on the top right, on the top screen of VoiceSynth, you have the different parameters and settings of the arpeggio. Starting from the top left, we have chords, which will follow the keyboard or the registers when the ARP is active. We can select the speed. We can have the pattern as up, down, and down, up. And then on the right hand side, we can set the ARP to be triggered or not to be triggered, or triggered by the first key or any key, or by the sampler playing. We can set the gate length, and then we can set octaves as go up, use 1 octave or 2, 3 or 4 octaves as the arpeggio is applied. The next thing I would like to show you is the sampler. So let's click on the sampler. Here we go. In this case, it shows you that the sample that I created for MySpace's music. So again, very quickly as an introduction, I'm sure I will create other tutorials on to properly use the sampler, but starting from the top left, we have the ability to set effectively if the loop mode will follow the red arrow, like in this case. If it is off, or if it is on but it will have a hold. Then next we have a button which allows you to say where the sample will start, from the red arrows or from the white flag. Then we can set how the sample will play. So for example, we can set it to play to trigger when any keys are pressed, or when the first key is pressed of a sequence, or when a first key, as long as the sample is idle. Or we can set it to play only when you press on the play button. Then we can set when the loop will be released, whether it is when you lift the key up, or if it is permanent, and then also when you stop. For example, if it doesn't stop at all, or if it stops when the sample is finished playing, or if it stops when you release the key. You have then on the right hand side the length, speed, but you can also a speed dial, but you can also set the speed to be played no more twice 4 or 8. So just do here. Okay, cool. At the bottom of that top section for the sampler, you have the ability again to look at to browse waveforms and also favorite. Then you have the ability to switch between the waveforms or the presets of waveforms. Then you have ability to set if the preset will actually play when you select it or not. Then moving to the right hand side, we have the ability to zoom inside the sample or out. Then if you click on the button Rec and Input, you can record a new sample, import it from the pasteboard or from a file. The more options allows you to delete a sample, rename it, export it as an original wave, duplicate from the selection. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this introduction and stay tuned for additional tutorials on VoiceSynth. Thank you very much. Bye.